My sisters and brothers, I greet you all with the love and peace of the Lord. I invite you to meditate together with me on the holy word of God of 26th March 2022. The focus of our reflection: humility is not just one of the many virtues, but is the base and bottom line of all the other virtues. One who fails in humility fails in all. Whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted. So declares Jesus. Clearly, Jesus is teaching us the greatness of humility. He teaches us that only in humility do we find real greatness. Only those who are humble will be great in the sight of God and will be exalted. The parable of the Pharisee and tax collector is a vivid description of this contrast between lack of humility and humility. The Pharisee represents the lack of humility, and the tax collector represents humility. The Pharisee is so self-righteous and haughty. Consequently, he fails to recognize his own human sinfulness and unworthiness before a holy God. There is a total unawareness of the holiness of God that must make us humble in his presence. Instead, he glorifies himself before God. He enlists some religious practices as proof of his holiness, instead of surrendering himself to God's mercy. He elevates himself as if there is nothing to correct and change. Though he appears to thank God, it is in fact an indirect thanking himself. He is presumptuous and self-complacent. He is so self-conceited that he becomes blind to his defects. He is covered by layers of the false self that rates itself as perfect and all better, holier, and greater than others. True to the teaching of Jesus elsewhere, he is a real hypocrite who sees the speck in the other's eye but does not see the log in his own eye. To the extent he labels, degrades, and despises others as thieves, rogues, adulterers, and good for nothing, he fails thoroughly in charity and benevolence toward others. He does not recognize and respect others' dignity. The end results are clear. The Pharisee is rejected by God, who is displeased with him. But the tax collector is accepted and blessed and rewarded by God, who is highly pleased with his humble heart. God does not look at what position we stand on, but with what heart we stand before God. And now the direction and the directive for our life: self-pride and self-glory are the root causes of all evils. They make us blind to our imperfections and contemptuous toward others. Humility and charity are the antidotes.